Good morning, class. Today in this class we are going to learn about the topic which is population change and population pattern in global context, that means in world context, which is a part of your chapter 6 human resource which is going on. Okay, so what we are going to learn here, that I am going to show you. We will learn each of the this topic in 3 parts. In the first part we are going to learn about the basic information of population change. Second part we are going to learn about the factors of population change, and the third part we are going to learn about the population pattern. Clear? Now after completing each of the part, I have some questions for you. So I will ask few questions after completing or after finishing each of the part. Okay, so if you face any kind of doubt, any kind of difficulties during this particular session, you can ask me. Clear it is? So let me start with the first part, population change. What is the meaning of population change? See, the first things written here, the definition of population change: the change or population change in the number of people during a specific time is known as population change. That means changing in population during a specific time period known as population change. As you know that population is never be static. It is always dynamic. That means with the time the population is changing. The change can be positive, the change can be negative. That positive change means the particular population can be increased or population can be decreased. But in global context, we can say the population is increasing. But remember, it is not same in every country. Like for example, in case of India, China and all Asian countries, population is positive. Population change is positive. That means population is increasing. But there are some countries like Japan, like European countries, where population is not increasing, sometimes not even decreasing. It is zero population growth, sometimes decreasing. Like for example, some of the European countries where population is decreasing. Right? Now, what is next one point written? The world population is never static, it is always dynamic, as I have told now. Third one, the world population has grown from 1 billion in 1800 AD to almost 8.2 billion in mid 2024. That means if we consider that, see, in the 1800 AD the population was only 1 billion. Right now the population reached to 8.2 billion. So that means increase or decrease? Increase. Right? Now next one, India's population has grown rapidly in recent decades and is projected to continue growing. As I have told before that India's population is increasing. Okay. Next one, in 1951, India's population was 361 million. As of December 2024, India's population is estimated to be 1.484 billion. That means we are going to exceed, and already we exceeded China in this particular population, though we are not believing this particular data because we are not having the updated census, because the last census was held in 2011, so we are still relying on 2011 census data. It is clear? So it is a estimated data, it is not a confirmed one. Clear? Achha. Next one, trend of world population growth. You can see one graph over here. With the time, this particular growth of population or change of population has been shown over here. You can see this particular time period starting from 1700 AD to 1900 AD. This specific time period, you can notice very slow growth. See this particular line, slowly increasing, slowly rising. That means that population growth was slow and steady. See, it is mentioned over here. 1800 to 1951 AD, it was steady and slow population growth. That means population was increasing, but in a very slow rate. Now the question is why? Why it was increasing slowly? See, the reason is also mentioned over here. High birth rate and death rate. That means that time birth rate was high as well as death rate was also high. Why death rate was high? See, second one, insufficient food supply, war and epidemics. You know, First World War, Second World War, all these particular event took place during this specific time period. That means loss of life, loss of property, everything occur during this particular specific time period. This is the main reason why population was not increasing that particular time. It was a steady growth and slow growth. Clear it is? Next one, phase. See, after 1900, gradually that particular graph is rising. You can see, gradually the graph is rising. Right now? Now why so? Why 1950, after 1951, that particular population explosion took place, that population start rising rapidly? Why so? See, the reason is also mentioned. High birth rate. Previously also birth rate was high. Here also high birth rate, but low death rate. Why low death rate? Because modern health facilities, health infrastructure came up. Okay. Also, food, we are become food sufficiency. That means we are getting food sufficiency in regarding food productions. We are become independent. Okay. Next one, better food supply and medicine, as I have told. So for that reason, death rate abruptly decline, and as death rate decline, birth rate is rising. So that is why population start rising, which is also termed as population explosion. So population explosion took place after 1951, and currently also this particular graph is rising. That means population is rising. Clear it is? So this particular graph and this stages of population growth, clear? Understood? Okay. Moving to the next one topic. Acha. It is one particular pie graph. Here you can see that that particular world population percentage depending on or according to the different country. Here the leading country you can see China. China is the leading country. Second one, India, 17.9% world population we are sharing, right? Third one, USA, you can see 4.3% population shared by USA. So likewise, all the countries, okay, all the top or most populous country mentioned over here through this particular pie graph. Clear it is? Here the main two leading country, China and India. See, maximum area is covering China by China and India. Clear it is? This particular graph. Yes, moving to the next one. Now coming to the next part, second part, factors of population change. As you know, there are three factors which influence the population distribution. Number one factor is birth rate. Number two factor, death rate, and number three factor, migration. So these are the three factors which influence the population distribution of the world, even in India. Here it is. Next one. What is birth rate? See, birth rate is a statistic that measures the number of live births per 1,000 people. That means out of 1,000 people, how many are live births? It is called birth rate. Clear? Similarly, death rate. Death rate is a statistic that measures the number of deaths per 1,000 people. That means out of 1,000 people, how many death cases? How many death cases or how many people are dying out of 1,000? It is called death rate. Okay. Now, if you want to calculate natural growth rate, how we can calculate? Birth rate minus death rate. That means the difference between birth rate and death rate known as natural growth rate. As I have told before, natural growth rate can be positive, it can be negative. If birth rate is more than death rate, Suhana, Stand up. If birth rate is more than death rate, it will be called positive natural growth. If birth rate less than death rate, it is negative growth rate, natural growth rate. Very good. Sit down. So is it clear? Here you can see one picture. See here, birth rate is less or more? Birth rate? More. Death rate? Less. It is population increase. See, it is balanced. Right? That means population is steady, neither increasing nor decreasing. See here, population decreasing. Right? Understood? So this particular thing is clear to all? Yes. Moving to the next one. Here the new and the most important topic we are coming into. Migration, another last factor which determines the population distribution. Migration. What is migration? Migration means movement of people from one place to another place. It is called migration. So when person or people move from one place to another place, temporary basis or permanent basis, it is called migration. Clear it is? Migration can be classified into many categories. That category I will discuss afterward. Now I am going to discuss the factors of migration, or why people migrate, why people travel from one place to another place. There are some reasons though. Mainly there are two factors responsible for migration. One is pull factor, another one is push factor. Here you in the diagram you can notice one magnet picture is mentioned, shown. This particular magnet, see, it's a symbol of attraction, right or not? It's a symbol of attraction. That means pull factor is like a attractive factors. Pull factors like attractive factors, okay, which drag people attention. Now, what are the attractive factors? It could be come under pull factor. See, healthcare, that means better health facility. If a particular country having better health facility, don't you think that people will travel to that particular country or place? Right or not? So it is a pull factor, better health facility. Next one, education, better education. Suppose for example a particular place has better colleges, education institute, all these facilities it having or providing. So people will obviously will go over there, right? Next one, food, better food supply. City life, job opportunity, most important. If a particular place having job opportunity, obviously people will go there. So these are all come under pull factor, that means attractive one. Now the just opposite will be called push factor, okay, which force people to leave that particular place. Push factors are the factor which force people to leave that particular place where they are belongs to, right? Like for example, what could be the push factor? See, climatic disaster. For example, a particular place, several times that, suppose a particular place several times facing different type of climatic disaster like flood, cyclones. So obviously that particular, the people who are living in that particular place will move to some other safe places, right or not? So that means this climatic disaster could be an example of push factor. Second one, what is written? War condition. Suppose in a country war is going on, so definitely there is a political instability. So if there is a political instability, people will leave that particular country or place. People will not stay over there. People will leave that particular. So it is a push factor. Am I correct? So war-like condition is a push factor. Clear? Next one, poverty. If poverty is there, that means people are hungry, people are not getting proper food, people not getting proper education because of poverty. So obviously that is a push factor. People will leave that particular place and go to some better place where employment opportunity will be available, food available. Similar to your book, here you can notice the blue part. The blue part here, the particular area which is covered with the blue color or marked with the blue color, very high population increase or growth rate is very high, demarcating is very high. The particular places which color with the blue, you can see mark with the blue color, it refers that high growth rate. That means growth rate over here very high. That means population is increasing very fast, right? You can notice all this particular area come under Africa. So Africa is the continent where growth rate is highest. Africa is the continent where growth rate is highest. That means birth rate over there is very high. That is why growth rate is very high. Understood? Similarly, you can notice, see this particular, what is the name of this country? Russia, exactly. See Russia, white color. Here you can see white color demarcating zero or decreased population growth. That means the area with the white color, that particular area population neither increasing nor decreasing, sometimes decreasing, right? That means Russia is the country where population is not increasing, rather decreasing, and sometimes zero decrease or zero increase, zero it is, which is called zero population growth, or sometimes it will be called decline of population. See, similar to Japan, you can see similar to Japan. In Japan also population growth is zero. Population is decreasing over there sometimes. Clear it is? So it is a pattern which can be noticed throughout the world. If you see India and North America or the countries of South America, over there you can notice the moderate population growth. Moderate population growth means 1 to 1.9% population growth over there. We can notice. That means it is a moderate population growth. So here we can classify this particular map into three parts. High population growth, that means all African countries having high population growth. Low population growth, European countries, Russia, these are all very low population growth, sometimes decrease. And moderate population growth we can consider China, India likewise. Clear it is? Now let's see what is mentioned over here. Rates of population growth vary across the world. As I have told, in the world not everywhere population growth is same. It is different according to different places. Second one, although the world's total population is rising rapidly, not all countries are experiencing this growth. Next, some countries like Kenya. Now tell me, Kenya belongs to which continent? Africa, exactly. As I have told that most of the countries in Africa experiencing high growth rate or low growth rate? High growth rate, exactly. Some countries like Kenya have high population growth rates. They had both high birth rate and death rate. Now, with the improving healthcare, death rate have fallen, but birth rate still remain high, leading to high growth rate. Understood? Next one, in other country like United Kingdom, that means UK or Great Britain, you can consider, right? United Kingdom, population growth is slowing because of both low death rate and low birth rate. Same for Russia. That means their birth rate is very low, also as well as death rate low. As a birth rate low, death rate low, that is no population increasing. Sometimes death rate is higher than birth rate. That means population decreasing even. Understood? Same for Japan also. Clear it is? All these countries are actually developed countries, and in all underdeveloped and developing countries, opposite. That is high birth rate and low death rate. That is why population increasing. Same for our country. Clear it is? So up to now, any doubt? No. Moving to the next part, question answers part. There are some questions. Are given here. So each of the questions will be asked to you specifically. Specific person it will be asked. First question to Anushka. Anushka, stand up. Read the first question.
Which one of the following is not a factor of population change?
Wait, by the way, how many factors are there? Population change? In population change, there are 3 factors. Now identify which one is not a factor.
Option C, literacy.
Is it correct? Exactly. So the correct option is literacy rate. This particular literacy rate is not a part of population change, right? Or not influence the population change, right? It is clear. Acha. Next one part, assertion and reason is given. You are accustomed with this kind of questions, assertion, reason. Sit down. Thank you. This one question, Krishanu will answer. Krishanu, read the question. Read the question loudly.
I can't read it properly.
Yes, come. Please. Read.
Assertion initially between 91 to 1951, world has experienced slow and steady population growth.
Exactly.
In between 1901 to 1951, war situation, poor health structure lead to high death rate. Sir, both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation.
Do you believe that is the correct one?
Yes.
Do you think?
Yes.
Exactly. Actually, 1901 and 1951, this particular time when war-like condition, epidemics, for this reason, death rate was very high as well as birth rate also high. That is why that particular time period, slow and steady population growth rate took place. So that means the reason properly explaining the assertion, which is correct option, option
A.
Option A. Both A and R true. R is the correct explanation of A. Is it clear? Achha, thank you. Go. Next one question. Oishani, stand up. Read the next question.
Which one of the following country has zero population growth?
Which one of the following country has zero population growth? Option Saudi Arabia, Finland, Algeria, Kenya. Which one? Correct option.
Option B, Finland.
Finland. Why do you consider Finland?
Because Finland is a part of the country where I suppose that it has the.
Let me know that Finland is a part of which continent? Asia. I'm giving option. Asia, America, Africa, Europe. Which one?
Europe.
Exactly. And we know that in Europe, the population growth is zero and sometimes decreasing. So that means the correct option will be Finland only, as it is mentioned with the country which has zero population growth. Is it? Thank you. Sit down. So that means all the three MCQ type questions we discuss. One long answer type question is given at the end. Number 4. In recent years, Bangladesh and Pakistan are experiencing high emigration. Is it true statement or false? That means emigration is very high in Bangladesh and Pakistan, both countries. So similar for Sri Lanka. Now what could be the probable reason? Take out the copy and write down this particular answer. At the end I will ask the answer from you. Copy the questions. Only the number 4 questions copy. First, you have very limited time. Question number 4. In recent year, Bangladesh and Pakistan are experiencing high immigration. Justify the statement. Write the answer in point. Write the answer in points. Is it done? Vaishani, tell first point what you have written.
Push factors like poor health and education facilities.
Push factors like poor.
Poor healthcare and education facilities.
Okay, poor healthcare and education facilities. Okay, can be considered. Sit down. Any more points? Debru, tell.
Another push factor which is poverty as well.
Poverty. So poverty is also responsible for that particular immigration over there. Very good. Sit down. Next one. I want to know some more points.
Poor food supply.
Poor food supply can be. Okay. Sit down. Next.
Terrorism.
Terrorism. Okay. Sit down. Next. Any other?
So climate.
Srinita? No, climatic condition cannot be a point.
Political instability.
Exactly. Very good point. Sit down. Political instability is one of the prominent reason why people leaving that particular country. Political instability. In both the countries, Pakistan and Bangladesh, political instability situation is going on. Because of this particular instability, people leaving this particular country and moving to some other country which is safe or safer for them. Right? It is. So it is one of the main reason for the high immigration in Bangladesh and Pakistan as well as in Sri Lanka. What would be the prominent reason for that immigration in Sri Lanka? Political instability and economical crisis. Right? Because recently over there, that particular, what happened? Exactly, that is an economical crisis, right? So because of that particular economical crisis, people leaving that particular country and moving to some other country where better or pull factors are available, right? So everything, this particular last question, it deals with the pull factor and push factor only. Yeah, clear it is. So our class up to this only. So if you have any questions in your mind, you can ask me related to this particular topic. Thank you. Political instability. Political instability means any kind of, suppose for example, there is no specific government which can rule that particular country properly. There is no stable government over there. It is a kind of political instability. Also, suppose for example, in a country war condition is going on. That is also an example of political instability. Right? Like Middle East countries where war-like situation every time is going on. That is why it is a political instability. So people leaving that particular place and moving to some other places. Right? So it is a very important factor. It is a political instability. It is a pull factor and push factor.
Push factor.
Push factor. Thank you. Thank you for this.